Okay, so moving on to the next set of nodes, we have the SkyAtmosphereData. And what this does is it allows us to access information from our lighting setup inside of our material. So for example, we have this material here. We can get the sky atmosphere light direction. And so if I go to my directional light in the world, this is set to be a light, wherever it is, atmosphere sunlight. So if this is enabled, this becomes the dominant light or the important light for the sky, and then it writes that information about the light to this object. So sky atmosphere light direction 0, and we can use that then. So here I'm doing a dot product between our light direction and the vertex normal, and what we'll get is a lighting calculation for direct light based on the light direction from the sky. This can be useful for doing kind of like fake lighting situations, anything like that. Similarly, we can have the skylight environment map sample. And so if we go to our directional, not directional, the other one, skylight, this captures a cube map. So we just looked at cube maps here in reflection vector, and what this does is it captures the cube map either at real time or a capture of the scene when we quit the game, and then we can access the captured cube map here, the one stored on disk, in our material, and that's what gives us this. So if I open that up, we've got an environment light, and in this case we're just using the vertex normals as the direction. If I put the roughness down to 0, we can see we get perfectly sort of shiny or perfectly reflective surface, and we can use those to kind of fake the environment. So getting a bit of lighting from the environment here in the sample, and then our directional light as well. So this is actually a unlit material. You can see down here in our shading model, we're faking it all using those sky information values. Not sure how useful that is. You wouldn't want this, obviously it isn't going to be respectful of shadows in the environment, things like that, but it's also quite an optimization where you could use this. So just a nice way of accessing sort of global information in our material. So sunlight direction and also environmental cube map, which works quite nicely. There's other loads as well. Haven't gone into more complicated setups, but depending on what you're doing for your sun and skylight, you can access all this information about the sky atmosphere and things like that. So lots of information available to us if we want to make things that are responsive to our environment and the lighting conditions that we have. Cool, works quite nicely. Yeah, sky atmosphere light direction has to be selected in the sky atmosphere light on the directional light, and then the skylight M cube map sample, just reading from the skylight to give us that cube map that's been captured.